Dear viewers, this is Shashank, and you're watching HW News English. The Lok Sabha elections, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, is just a few months away now, and the confusion, you may say, it, a complication, you may say, it, a problematic spot can be seen in the ruling MahaYuti over the seat sharing. Now, Maharashtra is going to be a very important state for BJP if they want to accomplish their mission 2024. Because in terms of constituencies, it is the second number with 48 Lok Sabha seats. Now, last time around, the situation was very different because last time there were two partners, that was the United Shiv Sena and the Bharatiya Janata Party. But this time, there is one more partner, that is the Ajit Pawar's NCP. So, to understand what's happening on ground, we have with us consultant editor of HW News Network, Mr. Sanjay Yog, who is having over more than 3 decades of experience in Maharashtra politics. Sanjay sir, thank you very much for joining in. And if you could guide us that what's happening on ground regarding the seat sharing, if you could spread some light.
Yeah, Shashank, let's start with what the individual parties are doing. Say on 2nd of July, Ajit Pawar led, now they claim about say 41, 43 legislators. They have joined MahaYuti, of which 9 were sworn in as a minister. And there was the Bonhami, which is still growing, but some of the legislators say the honeymoon is in fact over. The skirmishes among three partners have started coming out, and there is still that mingling among the three partners is certainly not visible. In fact, the differences are coming to the fore. Now, the trigger is, look at the timing. Even though the Lok Sabha elections are to be held maybe in April, May next year, but the preparations have already begun. Look at another kind of an angle. The day we are discussing about the differences about the seat sharing among the three partners of MahaYuti, that is BJP with 105 legislators and 23 MPs. So also now the breakup is Shiv Sena. They claim to be the original Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde, and the third Ajit Pawar led NCP. The dispute is still on in the Legislative Assembly, means at the Speaker level, also at the Election Commission, and at the level of the Supreme Court. But three parties have informally and formally now started talking about what could be the seat sharing. Interestingly, 2 days ago, Chief Minister held the meeting with the 13 MPs that they have come with him, severing their ties with Uddhav Thackeray, and they had a marathon meeting about taking a stock of what will be the scenario ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, how this entire, the combination of MahaYuti will definitely shape up, and how the addition of Ajit Pawar-led camp may have some kind of positive and negative signals among the voters and among the party supporters and workers. So they discussed extensively. One of their legislators, who is quite close confidant of Eknath Shinde, and he is also a kind of a chief leader in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Shevale, then told that they are definitely going to not settle below 22 seats, and they are quite aggressive. The number is why? Because last time Shiv Sena United, led by Uddhav Thackeray, had won 22 Lok Sabha seats. So obviously they are claiming the same claim in the coming elections too. So now that remains, like for example, if BJP is going to contest 23, Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde is going to field candidate on 22 seats. That comes to 45. Of the 48, only 3 remains with Ajit led camp. It's really quite interesting now just to see. Like so yesterday, when Ajit Pawar was asked, because he had held a press conference to give his side and a clarification on what Meera Borwankar in her book has written about that land and whatnot. So when the question was posed to him, he said, "Abhi to time hai. So we'll discuss among 3 of us and we'll arrive at a kind of a consensus. So you don't worry." So he's quite confident. To tell you to the viewers and the readers, interestingly, when Ajit Pawar had joined, the MahaYuti, during the discussions, what we learned is that he has already had held series of meetings with Amit Shah, Devendra Fadnavis, and their top-notch, including JP Nadda, and they have arrived at a kind of a formula wherein Ajit Pawar is eyeing on about 90 of the total 288 assembly seats and about 10 to 13 parliamentary, that is Lok Sabha seat. So it's quite tricky scenario. Say on the one hand, if BJP is going ahead with their mission called 45 plus, so in which if the three partners may fight for more and more seats, then how will it shape up? That's one question. Second, I still believe Ajit Pawar, you must have recently seen or observed, although they had joined the government on July 2nd, the list of what is known as district guardian ministers or the allocation was not done. So he was quite unhappy. He is displeased. So he, it is as well talks about Ajit Pawar whenever he is angry or he is having, disappointed, he suddenly, gets himself missing or absconding. Same thing happened. The reason was told that he is having a bad throat and he is taking rest. But look at his effect. Immediately on the same night, Chief Minister and second Chief Minister, that is Devendra Fadnavis, flew to Delhi. They had a lengthy meeting with Amit Shah, and the next day, the list of district guardian minister was, revised and given to them. Incidentally, Ajit Pawar, who is having a definite eye on a Pune and a Pune district, at 3 seats, but he will certainly press for 10 to 12 seats because BJP cannot overlook Ajit Pawar this time round. Neither they will sideline him because Ajit has a following not just in Western Maharashtra but in parts of Marathwada and Vidarbha. Secondly, he is definitely a kind of a very major player in Maharashtra's cooperative sector, which is a major sector which contributes say about 5,000 to 9,000 crores of worth annually taxes, and sugar is definitely is a major in this entire cooperative sector, where Ajit Pawar has got presence after his uncle Sharad Pawar. And third, very interestingly, Ajit Pawar has got a following among youth, and they treat him as like a messiah or a savior. So in that entire scenario, if at all BJP has to achieve its 45 plus mission, my sources say that Ajit Pawar will not be left behind. He will be taken on board, and they will arrive at a consensus wherein Mr. Shinde may have to sacrifice few seats, and that is going to be an interesting thing that will take shape. One more thing I will tell, and then we'll discuss again. On a day when we are discussing, on a day today and tomorrow, Mr. Sharad Pawar has organized all 48 Lok Sabha constituency-wise review. Look at it. He has not left it to the luck or something like that. He is all through busy. He has said that he may be like that, as the saying goes in political terms, he may be down but certainly not out after what Ajit has done. So he has already started sitting all through since morning to take a review of all 48 seats. What are the pluses? What are minuses? What are the strengths? What are weaknesses? And how, in an active and very strong kind of what they call in a credible alliance with Uddhav Thackeray and Shiv Sena and Congress and some of the smaller parties, they can definitely put up a united show like a mini India bloc in Maharashtra to take on BJP, Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, and Ajit Pawar NCP. So it's not just a coincidence. When the news are appearing about the differences among the three MahaYuti partners, on the same day and tomorrow, Mr. Sharad Pawar is engaged in a review meeting. Look at it. This is definitely a kind of an interesting battle, not just for Mr. Pawar, but for BJP in particular, because after Uttar Pradesh, 80 seats, 48 Lok Sabha seats are quite crucial. And if BJP cannot achieve that mission 45, I think they may face some kind of arithmetical issue when it comes to the entire number. So at this moment, I clearly see three partners will definitely have hard negotiations. Everybody will press for and go on making their claims. On the other hand, Mr. Sharad Pawar silently will definitely see that who will be the candidates, how, a new faces, what he always claimed. It's good thing that has happened. All the tycoons have gone to MahaYuti, so it has given him a space to fill new faces, particularly youth. So how he is going to choose them? And on the other hand, Uddhav Thackeray has also already started taking review. Congress has taken very comprehensive review recently with all top leaders, where in Mumbai they discuss constituency wise and what will be their claim. So I think at the both front, both have already started working on what will be the scenario ahead and how they can definitely prepare and warm up.
Sir, one thing I would like to highlight over here, among the three partners in MahaYuti, if you see, the most benefit or the most gained party is NCP in a very short span of time. Then Ajit Pawar faction. So, because even if we talk about the portfolio allocation, they were given lucrative portfolios. If we talk about guardian ministers as well, as you said that soon after he visited the Delhi brass of BJP, the appointment of guardian ministers took place. Even Chandrasekhar Bawankule was replaced, who is the BJP Maharashtra. So why this special treatment to Ajit Pawar's camp?
No, Shashank, I'm very much clear. That's what I'm saying. One thing like what BJP, Sudhir Mungantiwar and a couple of other legislators and ministers have said, by bringing in Eknath Shinde and all those, along with him, 40 yearly, I have been arguing that they have taught a lesson to Uddhav Thackeray. This is one thing. Secondly, by roping in Ajit Pawar, who was literally disgruntled with his uncle, the way he always claims that he has been hobnobbing with BJP, was not arriving at, but what not arriving at a very, formidable decision to go and support maybe from outside, not joining disgruntled legislators who were fearing about major actions from all central agencies, investigative agencies. They joined hands with Ajit Pawar, and he ultimately decided to part ways from his uncle. Why Ajit Pawar is important from BJP? A, as I told you, he is definitely a cooperative baron. B, he has definitely got a kind of a massive, support, not just in Western Maharashtra, but in part of basically North Maharashtra, part of Marathwada and Vidarbha. That really matters. But the real challenge for Ajit Pawar is that for so many years, since I have been covering him since post 1989-90, his growth is because of his uncle. No doubt he has got his leadership qualities. But as he was overshadowed by a tallest leader like Mr. Sharad Pawar, now it is a kind of a very major acid test for Mr. Ajit Pawar. तो जो हिंदी में कहावत है ना कि उसका नेतृत्व अभी आजमाना है. He has to prove and establish that he is a leader who can take this entire flock together and also bargain, negotiate, and suck what he wants. So I think that is his first challenge. But BJP cannot overlook him. As in case of Shinde, my BJP sources say that okay, as I told you, they have taught lesson to Uddhav Thackeray, but they are not so confident about, in politics and in actual electioneering, means what we call the elective politics, what matters is the share, transfer of votes. So they are not sure about how much the traditional Shiv Sena votes will transfer to BJP. And that's the major issue wherein they want to bank on Ajit Pawar. Why? Even though BJP all the time ridiculed Mr. Sharad Pawar being a party of 3.5 districts, that's okay. But Ajit Pawar, which is, having this following, having his command over administration, having his approach to get the work done, what we call cutting across party lines, I think BJP definitely does not want to hurt this time around Ajit Pawar. But as I always said, this needs to be verified, checked, and to be seen. Ajit Pawar is definitely going to be a major player in making this mission 45 a success. But for that, 3 of them will have to start negotiations in a concrete way. 3 of them will have to start the, huge exercise will be required. 3 legislators and ministers from 3, parties in a private conversation always claim and admit that, yes, the perception is definitely against. What they are worried about, the sympathy and the support factor in favor of Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. So how to break that? That's the strategy. Three of them will have to put it together in place and accordingly chalk out only. BJP will always bank on Ajit Pawar while Mr. Shinde will continue to be the chief minister, but they want that Ajit Pawar's help and Ajit Pawar's presence will really matter to get this mission 2024 achieved or fulfilled.
Sanjay sir, another question which is a hypothetical question. However, a lot of our viewers have been asking this. If the disqualification of MLA's decision comes against the speaker, gives the decision against the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, then what difference can it make in the elections? Because now the Supreme Court has also said that the speaker needs to decide before the big election. So if the decision comes, then if it comes against Mr. Shinde, then overall what things can go wrong for Mr. Shinde and his Sena?
Shashank, I don't want to go into a hypothetical thing, but just think of various scenarios. A, like what we are observing, what is happening in the court. The court has literally made a very stinking strictures against the Legislative Assembly Speaker. They have given the last kind of a deadline of 30th October. They want a formidable kind of a timetable. If they will not, they will not be happy. They said they will decide, and according to the Speaker, will have to act upon. Because he is no more just a speaker, as Uddhav Thackeray camp says, but he is now a tribunal. I don't want to go into the hypothetical thing. What will be the scenarios? A, if the 16 legislators, including Mr. Shinde, is disqualified, this government is not going to fall because the magic line is 145 of the 200. That is halfway mark, what we call. BJP, along with Ajit Pawar and the remaining legislators, they have got enough number. So let's forget about government falling. Second, interestingly, they continue. The disqualified petitions are said to be null and void and rejected. Then the government will definitely go ahead. In fact, they will get a kind of a necessary boost, not only to get that administrative grip, but at the same time to go on making gaga about politically also. The boss. Look at it. If at all Maharashtra has to grow, if at all Maharashtra achieve a $1 trillion economy dream, if Maharashtra has to remain forefront in attracting the investments and a kind of a modern state compared to the other competitive state, MahaYuti is the best choice, while the other of the thing side is fragmented one. So that's a third one. The fourth one will be, if the disqualification really happens, then internally there could be a dissension. There could be a kind of a restlessness which may grow and nobody knows how much it will take shape, whether it will be against MahaYuti or whether it will definitely be a conducive for India Bloc or a Mahavikas Agadi. And the last but not the least, which I could just capture, is then what will happen to Mr. Eknath Shinde? Say, if at all he is disqualified, which I don't see right now because I don't want to enter into a legal and legislative merit of the case. Because we are pariahs, we are that way outsiders, we are analysts, doing the analysis. We are not into the actual grip of the things. So what I still feel that if everything as what the opposition is thinking, if he is disqualified, what I am really looking as a political observer or a journalist who has been tracking all those political parties and the political leaders, I am definitely looking at and much more curious to know what will be the fate of Eknath Shinde if he is disqualified. I am really not in a position to say that whether he is going to definitely disqualified. But if he is not, then I think it is definitely a good sign for Mr. Shinde to further tighten his grip on the Shiv Sena and also have a major say during the negotiations, and he can have his stamp or during that negotiation and the talk, because he is enjoying very great rapport with Mr. Narendra Modi as well as Amit Shah. So these are the mote taur pe about 4 or 5 scenarios that we can definitely talk. But as I said, these are all hypothetical ones. Nobody's sure about, and I am definitely as a journalist will not cross my line to say anything bombastic or making some bombastic statement, because as a journalist we have to follow a strict norms whereby what is the scenario that can be emerging, that only we can expect, but we cannot confidently say that this is going to happen. So I strongly feel these are around 4 or 5 scenarios that we can project, but ultimately when the decision comes, then and then only the major analysis that we'll have to do in a later course of time.
Yes, sir, my last question to you is, we often hear that the number 45 from the various leaders of MahaYuti. Now, according to the mood on ground, how practical is that?
Shashank, again, I'm telling you, as a journalist, we have to watch, we have to sniff, we have to mingle with the people, and we have to sense the mood which is prevailing on the ground. You know, as a journalist, we have to be in touch with cross section, which I am doing regularly. At this point in time, no doubt, there is definitely an impression in a major section that Mr. Modi has emerged as quote unquote a Vishwaguru. Mr. Modi had his stamp on the recently concluded G20 summit. Mr. Modi, because the way he is appearing when it comes to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, or the Palestine and Israel war coming out in open, basically supporting the Israel, but at the same time, his external affairs minister said that the government is definitely in favor of the statehood of Palestine. Looking at Mr. Modi's charisma, Mr. Modi's grip over the party and the government, a section of voters clearly say कि boss और एक chance इनको देना चाहिए. This one side. Now look at the other side. What people are worried about? They are definitely worried about growing unemployment. They are definitely not happy with the price rise. They are certainly not happy with the manner in which the demonetization and GST has been implemented. And they are certainly not happy the way, the communal and the polarization is happening. So these are the two sides which I could gather while speaking or mingling with the voters. So ultimately, like, as the saying says in the political term, ultimately the consumer is the king. So when it comes to election, we can strategize that the voter is the king. They will decide to whom should they vote. They should teach a lesson, so-called, or give him another chance, or give a new face another chance. So I strongly feel now the situation has yet to evolve into that kind of a scenario wherein we can firmly say that this entire environment is tilting toward this side or going against that. I think we'll have to give much of time, because the entire politicking and the election campaigning has yet to gather momentum. We still have to wait about the elections of the 5 states which are happening now, because all the parties, both India Bloc as well as BJP, have already started getting into the action mode, and the entire election campaigning is gathering momentum. I think, Shashank, it will be better if we will keep on discussing this, but unless and until the results of these 5 states have come, I think then some kind of mood we will be able to further analyze and talk about.
Thank you very much, Sanjay sir, for joining in. Viewers, we hope we could provide you with insights. Do comment and let us know what other topics regarding Maharashtra politics you want to know, you want to understand. We will keep on doing such sessions to provide you such insights. Do comment and let us know whatever you want us to ask Mr. Sanjay Jogar, consultant editor, and we will also be bringing in experts from various arenas to solve your doubts regarding any topic. But for that, you have to subscribe to SW News English.